This is Claudia. My name's Jordan. So, what are your thoughts on the article I chose?
Oh, you chose this article? I thought you were like assigned this one.
Well, you have two options. There's two different articles, but I chose this one.
Okay. I really like the article. I need to think of a good answer. I don't want to sound stupid. Okay, so I really like the article. I thought it was very informational. I really like the significance to all the presidents and, other political parties. I think it was very informational, speaking on John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, even mentioning Alexander the Great and just quoting them, saying the differences and how they came to be and what had to happen.
So, reading the article, do you think that in any of it, assassination was okay?
I don't think assassination is okay. I know in some of these references and examples, it did make a better outcome. For example, with Martin Luther King, he was assassinated. Yes, it was sad. Yes, it was hurt. But at the end of the day, if you think about it, it boosted up his records to make his Civil War references more known. So I don't think it's okay, but I think it definitely helped his cause.
So you think assassination could be okay?
No, I don't think assassination is okay. I'm just saying they did get benefits out of it.
So then it could be okay.
No, assassination is not okay. I'm just saying since assassination does happen and is continuing to happen, there are benefits out of it. I mean, we
good and the bad?
There's good and bad both at the outcome. I mean, we lost a person, but what did we gain out of that?
Okay. How does John F. Kennedy's assassination affect America?
Oh, I felt like that had a really big impact on us, specifically because, well, honestly, there's also a lot of negative things out of it. For example, the whole, I don't know if you, know John F. Kennedy, not personally, but, his just information on his own about, aliens and stuff like that. I feel like that, personally, was so bad because it just made America kind of look bad for trying to spy and find aliens and supernatural things, which I feel like
John F. Kennedy was trying to
expose the FBI and Area 51, trying to say oh yes, this aliens are real and supernatural and this and that. And
you don't think that'd be good?
I mean, why would it?
So that way we would know. You don't think America should know?
Well, what would be the outcome? What would be our benefits?
We would know that there's.
And how would that?
Because then, if we knew, then we would know that the government is hiding things from us.
Okay, but I feel like aliens don't really need to be discovered or known. I feel like there's no rational reason for us to have to be involved with them.
So if the government knows, you think they shouldn't tell us?
I feel there's certain things that, yes, should be discussed. For example, when Obama was president and there was a bunch of things happening in Mexico at the border with the children, yes, I feel that should be made aware and talked about. But if we're going to go by aliens and supernatural, I mean, does it really affect us?
To me?
I think what are your reasonings? How does it affect you?
Because I would want to know if there's some other species that I don't know about.
And it would affect you? I mean,
yeah.
If they haven't affected us this far without knowing or with somewhat knowledge, how would it affect us knowing?
What if the government knows about them, knows about aliens, they discover aliens, then they just don't tell us, but this is a new discovery, so now the aliens feel that they're going to do something to us.
But if aliens were real and had already had problems and were already discovered by Area 51, FBI agents, whatever, why haven't they already attacked? Because they are known in some parts. Therefore, I feel like there's just no point. It's just going more worldwide. There's certain things that, yes, should be discussed and certain things that just have no reasoning.
Okay, why do you think John F. Kennedy got assassinated?
Oh, so what I believe was John F. Kennedy was assassinated because he was spreading, not rumors, a bunch of stuff that was true that the government didn't want to let out. I used aliens as an example because that was one of the reasonings that he had. And, apparently we can't discuss that, so shot in the head.
Who? That's why Lee Harvey shot him?
Well, I don't know. It's a whole thing about the government put Lee Harvey to shoot him. But
you think he was sent to shoot him?
Yeah.
You don't think he had his own motives?
Lee Harvey?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, to shoot a president? I mean...
He was part of the Soviet Union.
We'll talk Biden and Trump. I mean, would you have any actual valid reason to just go up there and shoot a president?
If I was messed up in the head, maybe.
So you think Lee Harvey had mental illnesses and just couldn't be controlled?
You have to have a mental illness if you're okay with shooting someone without them
What if it
attacking
was-
you. Without self-defense, you have to be some
So
type
you
of
feel
messed
it
up.
was mental illnesses that cause? Because I know there's a bunch of mental illnesses that don't really cause effects as shooting. So I feel like
Something,
that's just not
something's wrong
valid.
and something's not clicking in your head if you're okay with being able to kill someone or shoot
I
someone
mean,
just
police
out of
officers do it all the time,
you being angry.
and they aren't diagnosed with mental illnesses. So what's their valid reasoning?
Maybe cops. Well, okay. I know cops say that they feel threatened.
And we watched the video, and they're not threatened one bit.
I feel like being a cop would be like, I'd be paranoid if I were a cop.
But why?
Because you don't know. I mean, I know they say that, well, you don't know what they had on them or whatever. But then at the same time, if they didn't show you anything, then you really shouldn't do anything about it.
And so that cop has mental illnesses? Because if a cop has mental illnesses,
Yeah.
they're not allowed to be
I don't
put on
think
the
cops.
force.
I think cops should be evaluated.
Cops are evaluated. They have training.
No, like evaluate, like
Psychological,
Yeah.
military.
yeah, something,
Mm.
whatever, whoever does that. And you think John F. Kennedy's assassination was more important than Abraham Lincoln's?
Assassination. Do I think his murder was more important than the other person's murder?
Mhm.
Well,
Or do you think one was more
valid than the other.
impactful?
I feel John F. Kennedy's was more impactful just because Abraham Lincoln was a long time ago, and yes, there was like a bunch of people that knew about it and talked about it, but I feel like it just wasn't as brought up and mentioned, and it didn't affect as much as it should have. I mean, he was just easily replaced. Same as John F. Kennedy. but-
Abraham Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln was the one that basically abolished slavery.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He did do that, and then he died, and then what happened after that? What was mentioned?
Well, I mean, you have to get a replacement, but
I know, but I'm saying he was replaced, and then that was it. There was no real discussion. There was nothing to hold on. There was no, oh my goodness, like now we have this and this and this and that. They just kept the same things of abolishing slavery.
I think
Continue
it's
forward.
I think it's different because they know exactly what happened to Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
But with John F. Kennedy, there's literally so many conspiracies about how he died or how.
Well, conspiracies aren't really
shot.
real.
So what do you think?
I just,
Do you think Lee Harvey Oswald shot John F. Kennedy?
yes, we know
Alone.
he did. I think he shot him. He was the one that killed him, but I don't think he was alone when it happened. No.
So you think there was other people part of the plan?
Mm-hmm.
And you think there has to be a plan to get away with
There's a plan to get away with.
killing anyone?
Well, in all murders, everyone has a plan. There's no technical just accident.
Well, what
It's
if
usually all planned out and thought through. So I'd figure yes.
you don't think anyone has to get triggered by it
Mm-mm.
and it just happened?
To just be triggered out of nowhere, like
Mhm.
for example, you like right now, like let's say something broke. I don't know, it triggered you into a fit of murder.
What if Biden were to come to Dallas?
Mhm.
Well, I didn't know Biden was coming to Dallas, but I knew I didn't like Biden
Mm-hmm.
and I hated him and I want to kill him. But I don't know Biden's coming to Dallas, but then I see something. Oh, so do you think it's valid to start a war if a leader is assassinated?
I
Or do you
don't
think that's
really-
what starts wars?
Well, I know there's a couple of examples of who was it? Is it Kim Jong Un? I don't remember where one of ours shot one of theirs, and then not war, but a fight did outbreak.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe in war. I don't like war. I don't think it's valid to ever start a war over anything and anything. So no, I don't think it's right to do it over someone's death. I think forgive and forget.
Do you think wars come with assassinations? Like if there's a war between a country, like you're just like you already know that someone's gonna get assassinated. Well, someone that matters,
I mean,
like a leader,
you and me matter.
like a leader.
Like someone ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already planned. Like for example, like if Korea was fighting with I don't know us, it's already planned that they plan on killing our president or
so
something.
say like North Korea and us were in a war,
Mm-hmm.
and like there was a war actually going on, and then North Korea kills a bunch of our people, so we decide we're gonna go and assassinate Kim Jong Un. Do you think that's normal, or that's like a war should just be kept between a war and no assassination?
I think it should be kept between a war. I feel like it's made into normal to make it seem like we have to assassinate someone of higher authority to make it more, I guess
effective.
Effective, more thought out, make it seem like we are the better one just because we assassinated a higher leader. But I feel like it's made to look normal, like in history textbooks where it's like, oh yes, we murdered this person and we murdered this person and we got away with it. I feel like it's made to look that way, but it shouldn't be, and I don't believe in that.
Do you think that people should assassinate during a war? Like, do you think it does help?
No, because it usually just starts more of a bigger fight. I mean, if we were to assassinate Kim Jong-un during a war, it would just start more of a rally, and they wouldn't stop until everyone was either wiped out or they got back at them.
Okay, how would you react if former President Donald Trump were to get assassinated during his presidency?
During his presidency? I honestly don't think I'd care. Well, I think I would care because obviously a president was murdered, and then we have to figure out how to replace them, what's going to happen, if anything will affect or be a change, or if, the person will use North Korea. If North Korea killed him, how are they going to, do more? Because now we don't have a president in stand, so they could, just come back and affect us more.
When you say figure out who's going to replace them, what do you mean?
Well, like, because, vice president takes them, but...
So what are we figuring out?
A little bit some issues. Because it's not just over a day. Well, now you're here. I mean, there's other problems going on.
That is technically what has to happen.
That's what has to happen, but sometimes it's not thought through. I mean, if a vice president chooses not to be a president, then they have all the right to not be it.
Do you think that any of this Julius Caesar, any of these Roman senators have any...
valid reason? Well, Julius Caesar killed his father to become in more power.
Relevance
to the situation.
To any assassinations in America after.
Well, Alexander the Great, I know that he killed his father to become in a higher position. So no, I feel like that doesn't really have relevance anywhere into our situation, because as far as I'm aware, I don't know a single person who murdered someone ahead of them to get past them. At least that I'm aware of. I know there's conspiracies, but I mean, nothing's really confirmed. So no, I feel like that one just doesn't come into hand. And then Julius Caesar, he was assassinated because the Romans thought he was going to revoke their privileges. I feel like also that one doesn't have any relevance to us as well, because as far as I'm aware, I said I don't feel like, unless you want to use Lee Harvey, because you feel like he murdered John F. Kennedy by himself because he was ill. I feel like maybe that one could come into relevance for that one, but technically I wouldn't use it.
So I don't think I know assassinations matter and everything, and I know obviously if a president were to get assassinated, it'd be crazy, but I don't think assassinations matter as much as it matters in other countries like that have monarchies, where you go in a line of your family. So, like, the whole entire Julius Caesar stuff, all that, Alexander the Great, that doesn't really matter to us at all. At least in my eyes, because no one's killing anyone in America.
So it's just America.
Specifically, I know of America. I don't know any other countries that have a government like America.
So you think it's just not...
Or, like, even Mexico. They have a president, but his son isn't going to be... next in line. But
so like king, queen, prince, just none of that is valid for an assassination because it's not.
Well, no, I'm saying, so like, this is America and this is Great Britain. If Biden were to get assassinated today, it would be like a whole entire oh my god thing, but like easily there's this
someone to replace.
Yeah, there's a vice president, and there's never been like a whole entire thing of the vice president probably sent someone to kill the president so he could become president. But in Great Britain, if someone kills the queen, I think at least somebody's gonna have a conspiracy theory of...
So like Queen Diana.
Yeah, exactly.
Our princess, sorry.
Yeah, Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Literally exactly like that. So you said that you wouldn't really care if Trump were to...
I feel I wouldn't care because I personally don't like Trump, so I feel like I just wouldn't have any like negative or positive reaction to his death. I would be a bit surprised just because now we have to kind of hurry up, make our vice, if wanted to, the president and then Senator Vice, and then figure out, this whole thing out. But personally, his death now wouldn't have any effect. I mean, president's president.
What about Biden?
Again, as said, personally, no, I wouldn't react anyway. I would be obviously surprised. Biden's done a couple of changes that I feel were needed, so I would be taken aback just because I feel like he's doing so much right now, so we definitely need to keep him. But, I mean...
So you do think he is doing a lot?
Yes.
Okay. And whenever you... So you think doing a lot as a president...
Positively.
And them getting assassinated...
I think if you're doing something good, yes.
Is what would make you care.
A little more, yes. Because if you're doing something correct and you're making a big impact... Yes, I believe that if you're doing something correct, and this just goes... I guess it goes for a person as well. If you're doing something right in this... I believe if you're doing something right, creating positivity, spreading something good, helping out as much as you can... then yes, I feel like obviously people are going to care more about it just because, you're a good person, you're doing good, and you're continuing on. And we'll use Ted Bundy for reference. I mean, he was a horrible person, did horrible things. So if he died, when he did die, I mean, who did it really affect, No one. There wasn't that big of an issue.
So you think it was right for him to die?
I don't think it's valid for anyone to die. But are we talking about Ted Bundy or who are we talking about?
Anyone.
In general,
yeah.
If they're not a good person, if they haven't done anything good, if they haven't helped out in any way, then I don't think it's right to die, but I think it's okay to not be in your position.
Then that goes with the whole entire Martin Luther King thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you think Martin Luther King getting assassinated obviously was wrong, mm-hmm. but you think that
it does bring benefits.
And do you think that Martin Luther King getting assassinated helped with the civil rights movement?
Yes, I definitely do think it did. Just because the moment he was assassinated, it started spreading more awareness. People started talking more about it just because, someone very important, someone that was obviously making a change and was doing something good, just died. Mm-hmm. And so it brings more awareness to the problem. People start realizing, oh, you know what? He was a good guy. You know what? He was. Even if they genuinely don't believe it and they're just following, it doesn't matter. It's bringing more people into the cause and making it more aware.
So you think, do you think if Martin Luther King were to die, or Martin Luther King weren't to die,
didn't die,
then we wouldn't be as far with the civil rights movement?
I think, regardless, I honestly think that he would have made... Regardless, I think that he was still good at what he did, and we would have been probably, yes, not as far, but we would have came to certain things. And probably, like, today, now in time, we probably would have got where we should have already been. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I think now we would have been there and it would have taken a lot longer. So, as said, yes, it wasn't fair for him to die, but it did come with benefits and it did boost his...
So, what about today?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the whole entire Black Lives Matter movement and everything like that, do you think that would have been a thing without him getting killed? Or do you think it would still be brought up?
I think it would definitely be brought up, but
At
it wouldn't
the
be
same
brought
time?
up now. I think it would have been brought up back then, just because it would have been more aware because civil rights wouldn't have happened. Because if he was still alive, because when he died, it brought more awareness, and while he was still alive, it was aware, but it wasn't as aware. Therefore, I feel like this Black Lives Matter and everything that happened would have happened past tense.
So you think that leaders... Do you think that leaders getting killed brings more good than bad?
It depends on who the leader is. I mean, some leaders have positive effects. For example, Martin Luther King. Mm-hmm. His death, unfortunately, did have a positive effect. John F. Kennedy didn't really have such a positive effect. I mean, it did affect us, but it didn't affect us positively.
What about security and everything for presidents? You don't think that John F. Kennedy being killed got the benefit of upping security for presidents.
I mean, you're saying it's a benefit for presidents?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they did get the benefit of security. I mean, same thing with Abraham Lincoln when he was killed. More security. John F. Kennedy, more security. Just continues on and on. But I think even then, without assassination over the years, they're going to start upping security because, I mean, Donald Trump had security, and then when riots broke out in Washington, he got even more security. So no one had to be assassinated. Something just had to impact them.
So you think that, do you think it's harder to kill a president now than, like...
Yeah, I definitely do think it is, just because, as said, security has went up from with what happened to John F. Kennedy and to now. I mean, now if Joe Biden were to try to walk down the street, I mean, he'd have at least 6-7 people standing around him, cars around him. So, I mean, when he was accepted into presidency and he was walking down the road, there was cars literally surrounding him, people standing by gates, officers around him and his family. There was even people behind the streets making sure no one was, doing anything. So I feel like, yes, it has went up,
So, like, John F. Kennedy, him being killed the way he was in a convertible, that wouldn't be allowed at all now?
No, I think it definitely would still be allowed, I mean, the killing in his convertible, like, being killed in his convertible, is that allowed?
No, do you think it's allowed for a president to ride in a convertible the way John F. Kennedy did?
I think it's still allowed. They just definitely have more... I wouldn't say they'd exactly have people over buildings watching over him, but I would say there'd be more security around the car. There'd be more people on the streets, like, making sure, seeing if anything's, weird. I think they definitely have also observers, like, do you know how, like, in a marathon sometimes they'll ask you for, like, volunteers or whatever, and they'll say, like, to be ahead of time, know who is going to be there? Maybe do background checks and be like, oh, no, you can't come because you have some sketchy stuff in your background.
So Lee Harvey went to the top floor, or went up the floors, right? You think that would be able to be stopped?
Then or now?
Now. If everything that happened, do you think that would be able to happen?
So, like, now, basically the same thing's repeating itself? No, I don't think so, just because they'd have so much coverage. I feel like they have so much security to where they'd be able to watch and know and see, oh, this person over here is running around with a duffel bag. I mean, with the bombings that happened in the Boston Marathon, do you remember that?
I think so. I might.
Where someone passed by and just dropped bombs and then everything just... But yeah, with that thing, especially like after something like that as well, people kind of noticed it, like, oh, someone's... But they didn't catch it in enough time, so everything just kind of went down. So now I definitely think, after multiple things that has just happened, they'd be able to catch him.
Okay. So Islamic leaders. What about them? Like ISIS. Take ISIS, for example. Them doing everything they're capturing Americans and killing them with bags over their heads.
Well, they even take their own kind.
And recording it. And then America kills the people that killed the Americans from ISIS.
So I want to say, as before, I don't think it's right to just kill. Anyways, I believe in peace, so I don't think whether they did something good or bad, I don't think it's right to be killed. I feel, yes, they should be held accountable, punished, obviously taken out of the situation. If they do end up being killed, well, then that's just what happens. I mean, that's how America is, really. I mean, violence before anything, so...
Do you think it's sad to see someone that killed so many people be killed?
Like, for me personally, or for, like, a whole nation, I guess?
Anyone. A whole nation.
Just in general, like, would we be sad, I guess?
Yeah. Do you think anyone should be sad?
I think...
Or should no one feel any remorse for them?
I mean, the same way that people who were hurt and injured, it's sad because... Not injured, but, killed. I feel like it's sad for them because, they were killed, obviously, unfairly. And some would be like, oh, it shouldn't be sad for the other ones to be killed just because they're getting justice. But at the end of the day, like, they're still someone's family. I don't feel they should be murdered or killed or whatever, I feel they should be held accountable and punished. Yes. But if it just comes down to having to kill them, well, then that's what it comes down to.
So there's Islamic leaders, right, that like America sees as literally horrible. This is the person that we want to kill. And there's T-shirts with
I just think that's very disrespectful.
with the Islamic person on them, and then
I just think it's very disrespectful. I understand they did wrong things.
the
Yes,
gun aim.
I understand they did wrong things. I understand, obviously what they're doing is bad in the world, and yes, they deserve to be punished. I just feel that's very disrespectful either way, just to a person in general. I mean, we're just taking into account that that person is still a living human being. Yes, they have done wrong things, and I'm not gonna justify and be like, oh, they deserve to live, but I think it's so rude just to be like death.
So you think wearing that shirt is disrespectful?
Yes, to the person. Obviously, their actions are still wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I mean, it's still just rude. I mean, how would you feel if someone had your face on a shirt?
I wouldn't have a reason to be on the shirt.
Everyone has their own reasons. I mean, some people could honestly. I mean, as earlier you were stating, how what if you like hated Trump or whatever? I mean, would you run around with his face on your shirt talking about me kill him?
Maybe.
Oh, well, I guess to each their own. I know I wouldn't personally. I don't think anyone should.
So you
deserve
shouldn't
that.
express the way you feel.
To a certain extent. I mean, let's say I didn't like you for right now. Would I be like, I want to murder you? I wish you were dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that.
I think people have normalized that.
Yeah, that's definitely become normalized. So now, when you do see it, you're just kind of like, well.
Do you think assassinations are the same thing as people killing people?
I think killing someone is killing someone at the end of the day.
Is assassination and murder different?
Assassination and murder?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I do, because it was all planned. I feel like at the end of the day, killing is still killing. I mean, you can put assassination, murder, accidental. I mean, you still killed someone.
But it was all planned? You think it has to be planned? Do you think it has to be planned?
Assassination?
Any killing?
Yeah.
But like, with me killing someone on purpose, not on accident, on purpose. There's a plan.
It has to be planned. Obviously, you have to.
Planned.
I mean, you didn't just wake up one day and say, "Give me the gun. I'm gonna kill them."
Well, what about people that are in gangs and there's parties, right? People throw parties.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gang, and then there's another gang, but there's this one party that everyone's going to. So people from both of these different gangs are here, and these are a rivalry gang.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to the party, and then they see that someone is there that's a rival. And you know how gangs think they have to kill each other? They go to the party, they see them, and usually they have guns on them, and then they shoot them and kill them. Do you think that was planned?
Well, yeah, because you're told when you enter into a gang, if you meet your rival, you have to kill them. Doesn't matter how, you just have to kill them. So, yes, it was planned because you're already told from the beginning that you have to do it. So, technically, yes. I mean, as said, it wasn't like they just woke up and were like, oh, I know my rival is going to... Even then, they're like, I know my rival is going to be at this party, so I'm going to come to this party and shoot them. That's still technically planned.
That's planned, but what if I don't know that they're there?
And you just see them?
I just seen them and I
It had
shot
already
them.
been planned that you needed to kill them, though.
But what if no one told me I had to kill them? I just know that this is...
But you said you were in a gang and your rivals.
This is an op.
Mm-hmm.
What if I'm not in a gang?
So you just really just woke up and decided, let me shoot
and I
them?
see someone that I don't like, that I know that doesn't like me
I feel
either.
like it's all planned, though, at the end of the day. Like, how did you get to that realization? Oh, they don't like me and I don't like them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shoot them.
So a plan is a thought.
I mean, yeah, technically. You have to think it through.
Okay. So in the article, right, it says President Bill Clinton, the main sponsor of the Oslo peace process, speculated that if Rabin had not been assassinated, peace would have been achieved in 3 years. Do you think that whenever things don't happen, they'll happen later on.
Yes.
So something that's supposed to be happening right now
I mean,
doesn't
kind of
happen
as
now.
stated with Martin Luther King earlier, it civil rights, we still would have gotten, we still would have happened, we still would have went through them.
What?
Why did you just sniff it? Okay, so kind of as said before, and I mentioned earlier, with Martin Luther King and the whole civil rights process, I feel like, yes, if he wasn't assassinated, obviously we would have got our civil rights, but I feel like it would have just happened way later. Because as said, his assassination did bring awareness and raise up more people to join.
So you think it makes things come faster?
Assassination?
Yeah. Do you think things come quicker with it?
No. Because as said with John F. Kennedy, I mean, it just affected us negatively, so we didn't go anywhere.
Well, like,
I feel it has its benefits. Assassination isn't valid, but in some cases it goes faster than others. Martin Luther King, he's not a president, but his was spread across faster. John F. Kennedy, nothing really happened, as said. It just has its ups and downs.
So, John F. Kennedy being assassinated didn't make any political changes come faster?
Politically, no, I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. No, it did not. I mean, it just kind of took us all by surprise.
Because I don't know any.
Mm-hmm.
But there's probably at least something.
A couple.
I don't know.
I mean, we're not too knowledgeable about like political things, but we do know a couple of things and we do study on it. So, I mean, if me and you both don't know and we're studying this, I mean, did anything happen?
Technically.
Yes, but was it made well aware? No, but its effects were.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
So, do you think something has to be wrong with someone to kill someone?
So, as you stated earlier, you said, I feel people like Lee Harvey Oswald had a mental illness in order to kill him, and you didn't feel like it was government type thing. I honestly don't feel mental illness is a good excuse to say that you need to kill someone, because there's a bunch of mental illnesses out there. Not every single person ends up.
I'm not blaming mental illness on people killing each other. But
yes, but you
I think
did
that
say.
I think something
Right.
has to be wrong with you
Okay, well we'll
to
use
kill
the.
someone. But I'm not blaming. I'm not saying this is my excuse. This is why I did it.
That you're not saying that
I'm not blaming
every shooter, assassination, whatever, murderer is mental. You're just saying
I'm
this
not-
specific case had a mental.
No,
illness.
I'm not saying that this specific person. I'm saying if you're able to kill someone on purpose, there has to be something wrong with you.
I feel like we're all able to kill someone though.
Even
I don't have a mental illness, and right now I could literally just, I don't know, stab your neck. I'm not.
you
mentally
could,
challenged
you
or anything.
honestly could.
Anyone
you-
could.
you
Therefore,
promise-
the mental illness excuse just isn't valid if you're using it in the case of, oh, this person has a mental illness. I mean, the Sandy Hook shooting, that person didn't have a mental illness, and he went and shot a whole bunch of kids.
You don't think that they had a mental illness?
Was it
Even if it's not discovered,
or diagnosed?
anything.
I mean,
You don't
that's
think
how you
anything
know they
is wrong
have a
with that
mental
person.
illness.
So then mental illness is.
But they have to be diagnosed, and if they weren't
But-
diagnosed,
but-
then there's no valid.
But that's what I'm saying though.
Mhm.
Even if you're not diagnosed, or even if nobody knows what's wrong with you, there has to be something wrong
Well,
with you.
no, because I'm going to use Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer. They were not mentally ill or anything.
You
they
don't
were
think
completely
you don't think Jeffrey
fine.
Dahmer
They
had-
were completely.
You think he was a
Ted
perfect-
Bundy?
So they did studies.
Wait. okay.
They did studies on their brains,
Mhm.
and there was nothing wrong with them.
I mean, yeah, you can check their literal all scans online, and it doesn't show that anything was
Do you have
technically
proof of
wrong
this?
with them. I mean,
Do you?
do I have
proof
to
of
look
this?
it up and find it?
Can you show me proof?
At the moment, right now,
Yes.
you want me
Can-
to
yeah.
search up and have to find.
Can you
that
show
he
me
didn't-
proof right now?
I mean, can you show me proof he did have a mental illness? I
If
mean,
there
it's
was
the same
something.
kind of thing.
Well,
with
that's
you.
what I'm saying. 'Cause I don't
Feel like
think
I'm making searches of Jordan.
so.
Hold up, I'm not done. Okay.
Mine says, for Jeffrey Dahmer, although he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, schizotypal personality disorder, and a psychotic disorder, Dahmer was found to be legally sane at his trial. He was convicted of 15 of the 16
So
members.
he was sane.
He was sane, but you're psychotic. You're psychotic if you could kill someone. That's what it is. You're psychotic
Okay,
if you
but
could kill
as
someone.
said before, you're able to kill someone. So I don't understand how you're using the saying, oh, he's psychotic because he killed someone. You're able to kill someone. I'm able to kill someone. We're all able of doing it. Why does this one just justify as psychotic?
We're able, but are you capable?
We're all capable of doing it. It's a matter of if you do it or don't you do it.
But can you do it? You can do it.
Yes.
Anyone can kill a person.
Yes.
Anyone can kill a person. But is the person?
But also,
is
there's
the person's
some people,
mind able to do it?
But also, there's some other cases. We'll use the case of self-defense. I mean, if you kill someone, you still kill someone at the end of the day. I mean, and you're using the excuse, are you able to do it?
That's what I'm saying, though. But that's why I said...
Okay, but again, let's use the Jeffrey Dahmer case.
On purpose,
Technically,
out of motive.
it sounds bad, I know. But there was self-defense into all of this. I mean, when they would attack back and then he had to defend himself and kill him. Obviously, it's still not justified what he did. But I'm saying, I mean, he fought back
But
and
he
ended up
wouldn't be in
killing
that
someone.
situation if he never even kidnapped them.
He still killed him.
Exactly. He still killed them.
in self-defense.
So, if I were to kill you right now,
Mhm.
and I full-on killed you,
Okay.
and I was stabbing you, and I just kept stabbing you till you died, I could walk away, and you think a person would be like, she's normal.
Well, there's so many things normalized today, so I'm not sure what normal is anymore.
But do you think that's normal to yourself?
I mean, walk away, not get caught. Yeah, I feel like they think you're normal. I mean, that's what they thought of Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer when they would walk away, not caught. Ted Bundy almost got caught, and they thought he was just a normal dude, and he had a dead body in the back of his trunk.
Let me give you another example. If I were to kill one of our friends right now, in front of you, in front of your eyes, and you see me stabbing them, and then once I was finished, I walked away, basically done, and I walked away, you would think I'm normal still? You wouldn't see me any different.
Of course I would see you different because you just killed one of our friends.
Do you think, would you say, what is wrong with you? That's what I mean. When someone says, what is wrong with you, you think, what is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
So if I seen you kill someone and literally was petrified by what just happened, and after you got done, and I seen this person dead on the floor, I think I would tell you, what is wrong with you?
Right. We'd obviously
And
be
you
a
would be
little
like,
startled.
what? And I'm supposed to be okay with that? Or I'm supposed to think there's nothing wrong with you. You just killed that person because you could. But there's nothing wrong with you.
I mean...
Do you think... Tell me what you think, please.
I mean, as said before, some of these murders and shootings and stuff, you know, they didn't have mental illnesses, but they did it because they were capable of doing it. So I feel like, no, it wouldn't be normal into your context of normal, but, I mean, it still happened at the end of the day.
To a psychotic person, it's normal. To kill someone.
To a psychotic person, it's normal?
Yes.
Even to the people that are doing it in self-defense?
No, not them.
Why are
If
they
you're
so
doing,
different?
if you're killing someone out of pleasure, basically, you're psychotic.
But how do you know I got pleasure out of killing?
If I knew you got pleasure out of it,
What if I
like
didn't
serial
get
killers.
pleasure? What if I didn't get pleasure, but I wanted to do it?
So then why'd you do it?
Interesting.
Just
It
to
just
do it?
intrigues
You
me,
just
yeah.
wanted to see?
Yeah.
So then it interests you.
But it doesn't pleasure me, as you said.
But it interests you, right?
I mean, we're all technically interested in it. I mean, the same way that you look up.
I could be interested into killings, but I wouldn't be interested into
It's
doing
all
the
on the
killing.
person, though. I mean, to each
And there's
their
nothing
own, I
wrong with
guess.
them.
If it doesn't
There's nothing
come
wrong
out,
for
if
wanting
it
to do
doesn't
that.
come out that they have a mental illness, I'm not saying it's not wrong what they did. All I'm saying is you try to validate it with a mental illness, and if they don't have a mental illness, then I feel like that shouldn't be a valid excuse to saying why they killed someone.
I think every person that has murdered someone on purpose, excluding self-defense, and they did like a whole scan on them to see if they had any type of disorders or anything, every single one of them would have something wrong with them.
Mm.
And you don't agree. So basically, doing evaluations on people that have assassinated people, there's going to be something wrong with them.
I mean, there's going to be, or
there hasn't been
is,
yet.
Okay.
You don't know something because, like you said, but it hasn't been diagnosed.
Right.
But if they assassinated someone, and then after they assassinated someone, and they did an evaluation on them, do you think the outcome would be something? Something has to show that they have.
I mean,
some
not
type of
always
disorder.
something shows, though. That's why I'm saying, like, I feel like, no.
But not all the time.
Yeah, not all the time. Therefore, I feel like it's not always an excuse to say mental
It's not an
illness.
excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but I'm saying there has to be something wrong with them. Because what makes you want to kill someone that bad? I'm talking about assassinations. What makes you want to assassinate someone so bad?
I mean, you kind of said it in the beginning when we first started this video. There's always valid reason. And
So
you
there
used your
is.
trump. Like, you were telling me mental illness is the reason. Mental illness isn't the reason. I feel like sometimes there isn't a valid reason. That's why I said the government kind of planned it through.
Okay, that's not I'm not saying mental illness is the reason why they did it. There's a reason why they want to do this. And they could want to kill someone. But what makes them put their plan in works and actually going through with everything and killing the person is where the whole something's wrong with you.
But this is also something that you're kind of using against yourself, because earlier you said it's not a plan and that they just kind of have that in mind already to do it. But now you're saying it is a plan.
No, I'm saying with that, I was saying, what if there's not a plan? I was saying,
and I was
do you think that
do
do you think there has to be a plan?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. Doing anything and it actually happening, like me saying I could kill someone, I could say I want to kill someone like anytime I want. But me actually doing that, is that actually happening? So that's what I'm saying. Me actually doing it would let you see, oh shoot, something's wrong with her. Me planning something could like be brushed off. I could plan something, but I won't go through with it. But if you actually go through with it,
well, I guess yes, there would be something wrong with you. I mean, I guess yes, technically there would be something wrong with you for going through with it. I still think it's just not mental illness though, and I feel like it's just any person and everyone.
but something is.
Yes, but something is, I guess, wrong with them.
Okay.